Hey homesteaders, welcome to the Homestead. Today I'm going to show you how I make bread. Now, if there's one thing I love on our homestead, I love being in the kitchen, I love to cook, I've always loved to cook, and there's one thing I really love, and it's fresh bread. And so, the fresh, crunchy bread, this is like the no-knead, artisan type bread that you can make. It's super easy, very crunchy crust on the outside and very soft on the inside. It's just perfect bread. In fact, I don't know why you would make anything else. So I first started diving into this because I'm not, a bread maker. I don't have a lot of experience in doing this. And a lot of people, real bread making is an art. It really is. But I was watching Living Traditions, a channel that I do watch a lot, and they were giving a bread recipe, an artisan bread recipe, the no-knead bread recipe, and I started using that, and it's been fantastic ever since. First time was a go. There was no fail here. First time was a go. That's hard to say for a lot of breads. It's simple. And so, I've started doing this now. I love it, and I usually make it once a week, if not more. And so, and my kids love it. They love eating on this stuff. And I'm going to experiment over time with different recipes, different flours and stuff like that. But I really like this. It really turns out fantastic. But as I was doing more research and just seeing what all was out there in YouTube land, in the bread world, because there's just so much out there, I learned a tip and a trick that gives you even more amazing flavor with this bread, and even gives you more of a rise, more of a chance of success, which you're probably going to have a good chance of success anyway if you use this method. And I'm not going to get into the whole method of how I make this no-knead bread. There's tons of videos out there. What this video is about is the one tip I've learned that I add to this recipe that really gives it an amazing rise, gives it an amazing yeasty, flavorful bread. Okay, so we're going to go over that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the Poolish. Let's take a closer look. Now inside this jar is what's called a Poolish, and I started this about 18 hours ago now. And what I simply did is basically throw some water, some flour, and a little bit of yeast, just a pinch of yeast inside of a jar, stirred it all up with a spoon really good, and then I let it sit on my counter just like this for about 18 hours. And if you look inside here, ooh, look at all those bubbles. It's just fermenting away, and it smells so good. It smells like just raw bread. And you look down here, you can see all of the bubbles. There's bubbles throughout all of this thing. It's just fermenting. And that is going to give just a jump start on your bread recipe. Now you can use this for any bread recipe. You can start a Poolish, and just what this does, it just adds that amazing jump start of yeast production, of that yeast, fermenting and producing that CO2 and all those bubbles. And it's just frothy and bubbly. It's just perfect. You can use it for any bread recipe. But I love it with the no-knead bread recipe. It's just so good. And it just adds amazing flavor. It's very simple to do. You just start putting this together about, the day before. So like yesterday, sometime in the afternoon, early afternoon, I just threw this together, stirred it all up, sat on the counter, and now it's ready to be added to my next batch of bread. So this Poolish is ready to go, but I'm going to walk you step by step, just show you how easy it is to make a new Poolish. Okay, it doesn't take a lot of effort. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm starting with a 1 quart jar. I'm just going to put this on top of here and dump in 1 cup of flour, whatever flour you want to use, whatever flour you prefer. I'm using the King Author's 11.7% protein flour, and it's an all-purpose unbleached flour. And so I'm just going to throw that in there. Down it goes. Then I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup. So 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water. It's warm water. Temperature is going to be, you want this to be around 100 degrees, okay? Between 90 and 100 degrees. You're just going to pour that in. Then you're going to open whatever yeast that you have laying around. Instant yeast works fine. Whatever yeast, open that up and just put in like a pinch or two. Sprinkle that in. I'll put 2 pinches. 2 pinches of yeast, and that's it. You're just gonna take this off, get a spoon, stir it all up really, really good. Make sure you can look on, I like the glass jar because you can look on the bottom to see if there's any parts of flour that have not been stirred in. And so I'll do that, and I'll stir this up really, really good. And once I finish stirring it up, I just put this on the counter and let it sit for, about, 12 to 18 hours. The longer you sit, the more it's gonna get more yeasty and bubbly. I wouldn't let it sit longer than a day. I'd say 24 hours would be your max. But, go ahead and let it sit for 12 to 18 hours, and you're gonna come, and when you smell like this one is ready to go, you smell this, oh, it just smells so good. Just smells amazing, bread, yeasty flavor. It's just packed with flavor. And when you put that into your bread recipe, man, it just adds an extra bounce to the taste, in my opinion. And it really does jumpstart the loaf and help to get the yeast that you add in your recipe when you put your recipe together. It just adds that extra bounce, in my opinion, to the recipe. So anyway, there you go. This is how to make a Poolish. You're gonna stir this up really good, let it sit for 24 hours, 12 to 18 hours, I think is fine, and then add that to your recipe. So whatever recipe you normally follow, go ahead and add that to it, and then adjust your water and flour accordingly based on what you have in this Poolish. Again, just try it. Just try it. I'm a big believer, and now I'll be using Poolishes whenever I make bread. So that's it. Let me know if you use a Poolish. Do you use a Poolish when you make bread? Leave a comment below. If you don't use a Poolish, if you've used these and they haven't worked out, leave a comment below. I want to know. Because there's people out there who really want to try bread recipes and they want all the advice they can get. And it may be your comment that actually helps them get started or gives them a point they hadn't thought about it that they can research more on their own. So please leave a comment below. Let us know your bread experience, Poolish or no Poolish. I'm going with the Poolish from now on. All right, guys, thanks again for tuning in. Always appreciate you being here. Hit that like button. It really helps YouTube know that there are people who indeed watch and enjoy our channel. And check out our merchandise over at teespring.com. Links in the description below. All right, guys, see you next time in the homestead. Bye. Hey guys, I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.